Welcome back. Thanks for still being there. Now, that was not all that the lawmakers were up to this week. Let's take a look at decisions that caught the spotlight this week from the National Assembly.
The Senate Committee on Petroleum Resources downstream is appealing to petroleum tanker drivers not to block the Suleja depot from loading and discharging petroleum products. Speaking during Wednesday's plenary session, the chairman of the committee, Senator Kabiru Marafa, informed his colleagues that the tanker drivers are protesting the poor state of the Mokwa-Jaba road. However, he appealed to the union to desist from the action as it will only aggravate the sufferings of Nigerians.
The Tanker Drivers Association, popularly known as PTD, blocked the Suleja depot. The tanker drivers in Suleja depot have blocked the entrance gate of the tarmac that there will be no dispatch until the issue of bad road at Mokwa Jeba is addressed by the federal government. Mr. President, I want to commend Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association for being a very responsible organization and that cooperates with the people of Nigeria, especially in times of difficulties like this. But I want this Senate to note and advise that the two issues are unconnected and cannot bring any solution. By blocking the Suleja depot, they are only aggravating the sufferings of Nigerians. And that would not bring in any way address the problems of the road they are talking about. Already, the NNPC, in conjunction with this National Assembly, are making headway towards the resolution of the crisis in petroleum products. So I hope their action would not further deteriorate the situation.
In a bid to help address the challenging security situation in the country, the House of Representatives has approved the report of its Committee on Police Affairs for the establishment of a Nigeria Police Trust Fund that will cater for the training of the police personnel and provide state-of-the-art security equipment for the force. The House considered the report in the Committee of the Whole and approved all the recommendations of the Committee on Police Affairs. The House also approved an amendment to the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Act to contribute 1% of its revenue to the Nigerian Navy, so as to ensure that the Navy has the capacity to better police the maritime environment and protect the country's maritime territorial integrity. The House, in the Committee of the Whole, considered and approved the report of its Committee on Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety, which had worked on the bill. According to the House Committee on Navy, the amendment became necessary in the face of dwindling budgetary allocations to the Navy and the urgent need to properly fund her to discharge her constitutional mandate. The Senate is set to begin a probe on arbitrary bank charges and illegal deductions by commercial banks. The upper chamber is also beaming its searchlight on the cryptocurrency phenomenon, which is taking the country by storm. Lawmakers want the federal government to pay more attention to the proliferation of cryptocurrency schemes in the country and protect Nigerians from risky investment.
Bitcoin has no central bank, does not exist in any tangible form, and is also not subject to any international or local monetary regulations or backed by any established government institution for that matter.
Aware that the Central Bank of Nigeria on the 20th of February reported that it had recovered over 2.6 billion naira from depositors' funds from banks as excess charges imposed on their customers in 2015 alone, through a statement issued by the Director, Corporate Communications of the Central Bank, that in 2015 alone, the Apex Bank, the CBN, investigated over 6,000 of such cases. Concerned that several of the Central Bank of Nigeria applicable rules that should remedy such hardship and discourage sharp practices by the commercial banks are conflicting, vague, and unjust to the customers, thereby allowing the commercial banks to frequently shortchange their customers. Further concerned that requests made by the bank customers to the CBN for clarification of the rules are largely ignored, worried that if this trend is allowed to continue unabated, Nigerians will be worse for it, while the commercial banks will continue to declare huge profits at the expense of innocent Nigerians, from regular depositors to business firms.
The House of Representatives